Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you for the recording. Yes. Money and technology, basically financial systems of the world, began with the barter trade system, which I shall not overemphasize because we all know about it. And then the world experienced the second revolution, which happened in the 17 and 1800s. And this is when the world was introduced into the paper money or the fiat currency as a medium of exchange. And then in the 1990s, we all experienced the internet revolution. And as we all know, Kenya is a leader in this space with regards to the space of money with our M-Pesa product, which is a global pay setter. And now we are talking about the fourth revolution, which is basically the blockchain revolution. And I must say, most of us are very lucky because I want to believe we could have been born somewhere within the industrial revolution. We all witnessed the digital revolution take place. We all know what happened there. It produced a generation of billionaires and billionaires who are able to spot the opportunity. And now we are even being ushered into the third revolution in our lifetime, which is the blockchain revolution. So in a nutshell, I'm going to define what blockchain technology basically is all about. And basically, blockchain technology can be described as a data structure that holds transactional records while ensuring security, transparency, and decentralization. And you can also think of it as a chain of records stored in forms of blocks, which are controlled by no single authority. So in a nutshell, this is basically an enhancement of the internet as we know it, in a manner that it gives us the element of decentralization where no single authority or no single individual has full control over your data as is found on the internet today as we know it. Now, the usage of this technology is already, there are so many places where it's already being applied. Again, Kenya being a leader in adoption of technology. I can give you a classic example where the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union, KMPDU, I think about a month and a half ago, they did their voting and they ran their voting on blockchain technology through the application known as Ethereum, the coin known as Ethereum. So we are already in the space where it's already in use. And again, we know in terms of adoption of these cryptocurrencies, we are aware a country like El Salvador has already endorsed Bitcoin as an acceptable medium of exchange, something that is rattling the authorities, something that's giving the World Bank some sleepless nights. That's a story that you need to be following very closely just to get the gist of what's going on around you. But for us, tonight, we just want to focus on the application of this technology in the space of money and where we can spot the opportunity and what we can do with that opportunity. Now, you cannot talk about blockchain technology basically without talking about Bitcoin, which is the pioneer cryptocurrency, which is a currency you can use to buy goods and services in the marketplace today. But also, it's a currency that has been able to beat inflation where all the other fiat currencies have failed. For example, you know that the dollar, since March last year, the dollar in itself has lost value from around 103 to about 90 through what we call the dollar index, which basically means what? If your investments are in dollar, for the last one year and a few months, your value has depreciated by over 13 percentage points. So Bitcoin, on the other hand, has been able to beat inflation in the sense that it behaves like a store of value, just the same way land appreciates over time in value, because we all know from around 2017, for example, Bitcoin its value was still below $100. But today, if you own a Bitcoin, you are worth over $35,000. So really, in terms of beating inflation, it's done it hands. Okay, it's just done it. Now, the second most popular cryptocurrency is Ethereum. And Ethereum, again, is a currency you can use to buy goods and services, but it also has an advantage over Bitcoin because it's what we call an open source platform. In other words, you can be able to develop an application to run on it. And that is exactly what KMPDU did. They developed a voting application which was running on Ethereum. And that means over time, we expect that there's going to be a community of users of these cryptocurrencies, and that will continue to push their values up. I also want to talk about another currency called BUSD, which is Binance USD basically. And this belongs to a category of coins which we refer to as stable coins. Now, stable coins are cryptocurrencies whose value mimic the dollar or whose value is equivalent to a dollar. Now, this is very good for business because it helps to give business stability and predictability. For example, like I have said, because of the nature of the market volatility, prices of Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these other cryptocurrencies, they go up and down, and sometimes it can be very difficult when you're planning to undertake a project, because one day your Bitcoin could be valued at $68,000, the next day it could be valued at $30,000. But when you're trading with stable coins like BUSD, every time its value will always be equivalent to a dollar. That can help you be able to plan and predict what will happen to your business. Now, the other thing we like to do in this space is we like to check what the experts are saying. Now, according to the World Economic Forum, and this information is available on their website, they are predicting that the usage of this underlying technology is going to grow by almost 300,000% in the next 6 years to come. That, ladies and gentlemen, means if today you invest in some of these cryptocurrencies, if you just bought them and you did nothing and waited for the next 7 years to come, you can expect your wealth to grow by almost 300,000%. I know sometimes some of these numbers are hard for us to crack, but that's exactly what it means. And that is clearly demonstrated on this slide on the adoption curve. Now, anytime a technology has been introduced in the marketplace, it always goes through the three key phases of adoption. That is always the innovation stage, then the take-off stage, and then there's the saturation stage. During the innovation stage, this is where the developers are trying to figure out what works and what does not work. And this technology has already gone through a lot of innovations in the last 12 or so years. And now we are at the takeoff stage. And this is where, guys, money really changes hands. And you can place any technology that you can think about. You can place it on this curve. You can place M-Pesa as a product, you can place internet as a product, and you can see this exponential growth of we are talking about is what we are referring to, a growth of 300,000%. In essence, what will happen is, just like the internet came, and around 2000, that is when everybody was coming to terms with this internet business, and a lot of people are resisting it. Those who adopted it, as the rest of the world was coming in, they were able to experience this kind of growth. And basically, that is what we expect to happen in the next few years to come. Now, unfortunately, if you come in during the saturation stage, this is where you are required to use this technology and you have no choice but to pay for it. For example, if you think about M-Pesa today, anybody, most of us, I mean, the 50 million Kenyans, we basically, almost all of us are users of M-Pesa, of course, other than the underage children. And we pay for that product. Well, there is no option. You have to use it and you have to pay for it. And that is basically what will also happen with the rest of the world who will come in at the saturation stage. At that point, they will be required to use this technology, and unfortunately, they'll have to pay for it, and it's going to be extremely, extremely expensive. Now, there is this particular website we call coinmarketcap.com, and this website captures for you information in real time with regards to all the cryptocurrencies in the markets, and it shows you prices as it's changing on a minute-by-minute basis. Now, if you look at it, at the moment we have over 10,000 cryptocurrencies, and the market capitalization, when we took this screenshot about a month ago, was about $1.5 trillion. And even it goes ahead to even show you the volumes that are traded daily. And I can tell you for a fact, over $200 billion are exchanging hands every single day. This is where wealth is being shifted, guys. Now, obviously, the market leader in this space is Bitcoin, followed by Ethereum. And then our stable coin, in terms of market share, comes in terms of in number 21. Now, when you, this graph basically shows you the trend Bitcoin and Ethereum, who are the market leaders, have taken over time. And like I've said, all the way up to around 2017, Bitcoin, for example, had no value. As you can see, it was basically below $100. But something very significant happened in the year 2018, and the value shot up to $20,000. And you can imagine anybody who had a coin or two One day they woke up, they were worth maybe $100. The next day they woke up, they were worth over $20,000, which is more than 2 million Kenya shilling. Now, because of what we call market volatility, you can see the values pulled back all the way to around $3,000. And this is what really differentiates investors from speculators. Unfortunately, a lot of speculators, when they saw the value pulling down, they dumped their coins, they gave up, they complained, and they failed to see the bigger picture. At the beginning of this year, the value once again shot up to around $68,000, which is more than 7 million Kenya shillings. So you can imagine anybody who dumped their coin here because they were speculating, and then they wake up this year and they realize that they dumped over 7 million at maybe $3,000. It's very sad. It's a sad story. And if you can look at Ethereum, that's exactly the same trend it has taken. So basically what you need to understand is the nature of this market. They suffer from volatility, price goes up and then it comes down. But one thing that is not in dispute here is that the price is on an up trend. So if you can get hold of some of these coins, please get hold of them and make sure you have them in your wallet. Now, the other thing we like to do is to compare the wealth of Africa with regards to, against this decentralized economy we are talking about. According to Wikipedia, the economy of Africa today is predicted to be about $2.6 trillion. I normally say personally, I really don't believe in those figures, but anyway, let's just assume it's true. But according to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, the GDP of Kenya was exactly $100 billion as of December last year. I want to draw your attention to these figures because it has taken us 58 years since independence to build $100 billion economy. That should just basically tell you that the real growth in this country is is something like $1.2 billion annually. But now pay attention to this decentralized economy we are talking about. Bitcoin, which is barely 10 years old, is 7 times more than the economy of Kenya. It basically can buy the economy of Kenya 7 times over. Ethereum, which was introduced in 2013, is 3 times bigger than the wealth of the entire economy of Kenya. Look at Binance, which is about 4 years old. It can buy Kenya, it is exactly half the economy of Kenya in 4 years. So what are we saying? We are telling you, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not paying attention here, if you're just focused on what Kenya can do for you, I am here to tell you, you're shooting yourself in the foot. There's a whole economy here that has been opened for you, and you can exploit it and make as much money as you possibly can, and then you can come and help build your economy called Kenya. Now, when you come into this space, we all usually say you have to understand how the industry is playing out, because there's a lot of opportunity for you to make money, but there's also a lot of opportunity for you to lose money. And I know a lot of you have come across people who don't even want to hear the word cryptocurrency being mentioned because they lost money. They cannot blame anyone. If you don't understand what you're getting yourself into and you lose money, too bad. Now, let me give you an industry overview of how you can make money and lose money. And by the way, when I say that, I am saying as a person who has suffered in this space, for the simple reason that I didn't really understand what I was getting myself into. So I have first-hand experience, but I don't count those as losses anymore. I count that as the lessons that I needed to learn for me to be where I am today and for me to get to where I want to go. So let me give you an industry overview of how you can make money and also how you can lose money. And I'm going to start with the losing side. And one of the easiest ways to lose money is by participating in what we call tokens. And basically tokens are coins that are being developed, which are yet to mature. And a lot of organizations today, everybody is making a coin. I am telling you, everybody is making coin, tokens. So the question is, before you put your money to finance those projects, you must do your proper due diligence to understand why are you in the first place participating in that token. Number two, what is the use of that token and what is the chance that it will survive in the marketplace? Now, we are not saying tokens are bad. You must appreciate that every cryptocurrency in the marketplace today, including Bitcoin, was one day a token. So It's just the question of, do you really understand why you're putting your money in a token? Number two is mining. And as we all know, mining in this space is such a genuine business. A currency like Bitcoin cannot become unless it's mined. Now, the thing with mining is it's a very capital intensive business. It requires very huge investment, and then it consumes a lot of power. And you know, everybody today is advocating for green energy. You know, they don't want anything that is destroying the ozone, if the ozone still exists anyway. So what basically has happened is that this particular mining space has been domineered by the multinationals who have the financial muscle to make the huge investment. That means most of these other companies that come around and tell us they're mining this or mining the other, unfortunately, they are not able to effectively compete, and they end up going under with people's money and people's coins. Now, the other one, of course, are return on investment programs. And these ones, guys, are so huge. They've already been there. So many people have lost a lot of money, and they will continue to come. This is where somebody basically tells you we trade in cryptocurrency, or we invest in cryptocurrency, or whatever they do, and they tell you, come in, put in your money every day, you'll earn 1% or 2%, or whatever percentage they tell you. Now, the thing is, we all know how the story ends. So before you put your hard-earned cash there, please do your proper due diligence and get to understand who really you're trading with and why you should put your money there. Now, on the side of gaining, one of the easiest ways, although it is also a not easy way, is you can learn to trade price, or basically do forex trading. The same way you can trade fiat currencies like dollar, euro, GBP, ZAR, etc, and you make money. You can also trade cryptocurrencies where you buy low and sell high. But I will tell you this, statistics have it that 96% of the people who attempt to trade price, they lose money. So if you want to belong to the category of the 4% who really make money, it requires very serious investment of time and money. You must be willing to learn, and you must give that skill time. Just the same way you said your child to the university to study medicine for 5 years, this skill must also be taken with that level of seriousness. The other one is basically where you can buy and hold. And for example, I've shown you around 2017, 2018, one Bitcoin was worth $20,000. Today, one is worth over 30,000, and at some point, it was even over 68,000. So, if you have the muscle to withstand market volatility, and we mean volatility in terms of real volatility, where one day you are worth 2 million, the next day you are worth 300,000, but you can still wait for it to go to 6 million, then you can invest in terms of buying and holding. The other one, of course, is you can participate in smart contracts. And the rest of this presentation, I'm basically just going to talk about what smart contracts are and why smart contracts are a good opportunity for us. Now, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to look at what is the definition of a smart contract. And we're going to check with the Investopedia. And as you can see, Investopedia updated their definition on 8th of October 2019. So what we are telling you is not something new. It's something that has been there. It's just that maybe we are getting to hear this information for the first time. And in a nutshell, a smart contract is a programming code that is self-operating. Now, let me tell you, if you understand what that means, everything else I'm going to say is going to become very easy. It is a programming code that is self-operating. It is placed directly on the blockchain. It cannot be hacked or stopped. It cannot be changed. And it does not require an admin or a company to run it. Whatever it is programmed to do is exactly what it does. Today, I remember I had another presentation like this. And I told people, if you have ever gone to Tesla, I mean, I don't have to literally go to the US and enter the Tesla manufacturing farm, but I can go through the internet, I can enter there and see how they make their vehicles. If you've ever been to Tesla, you know that there are very few people, human beings, who work there. They have basically employed robots that do everything. There's a robot that fixes the engine of the car. There's another one that fixes the wheels, the tires. There's another one that fixes the door. There's another one that sprays the car, etc, etc. Why? Because we are in the era of artificial intelligence. You don't need people. You don't need companies. Just employ technology. That is what we are talking about. In this era of this space we are in, we are not dealing with companies. We are dealing with artificial intelligence. Now, the smart contract that I'm about to introduce you to, guys, is called Forsage. And Forsage is not news anymore. This particular smart contract was launched in the marketplace in February of last year, and it was first launched on a coin called Ethereum. That is already an ongoing business. Basically, this smart contract is a crypto generator. It's a system that helps you to generate cryptocurrency so that you can build a portfolio, because once you start understanding the space we are in, we know that's where the world is, and you want to go ahead of them, and you want to build a portfolio that can help change your destiny and the destiny of your children and your children's children. So already the smart contract for Surge is already running on Ethereum for over a year, and it's a very successful project. So many people have made so much money. The same smart contract was launched on another coin called Tron in September last year. Another group of people have made a lot of money with that. And the same smart contract was launched exactly a month ago on our stable coin called BUSD. And that's what I want us to focus on tonight. Now, before we look at it, let me remind you how life has been and what we've been exposed to and what we mostly understand. We have operated and done businesses in a centralized manner, in a manner that there is always a company that comes up with a product, and that company is owned and created by somebody. Then that company, once they've decided what product they want, they employ people who monitor the system, and then they keep making decisions depending on what they want to achieve. Whether you like the decisions or not, you just have to abide. And then we all know how many people have lost money in those programs. Some of them are successful, but others, we also know people have lost money. And anytime you work and you make money in these programs, you always have to make a request to withdraw your money. Somebody has to process it for you to earn it. And then somebody always dictates the level of income you earn. For example, they will say, if you refer a person, we shall pay you 5% or 10% or 3%, whatever it is. And then, of course, in terms of transparency, I really don't know how much of it we really get to have in terms of, because we are always exposed to what those people want us to know. But now we are telling you, welcome to the world of decentralization. And in a decentralized project, this requires a paradigm shift, a complete mental shift, because in this environment, even the creators of these currencies or the program like this one I'm talking about, a smart contract, the minute they release it on the blockchain, because of the nature of the blockchain technology itself, they lose control. There are no admins needed to run. We are interacting with artificial intelligence. There are no management decisions. You cannot lose your funds, and I'll show you how. And then you get instant payouts. And this is one of the most beautiful things about a smart contract. Then, of course, it's up to you to determine how much income you want. Nobody limits your income, and I will demonstrate that. And again, like you have said, on the blockchain technology, there is 100% transparency. All transactions are verifiable and they are trackable. Now, welcome to Forsage. Like I've said, this Forsage we are talking about tonight is on the stablecoin called BUSD. And at the end of the day, we are going to have a total of 4 products. But for now, we have access to 2 products, which is what we call Forsage X3 and Forsage X4. The Forsage Triple X is coming this season. In fact, they've told, the developers have said it is going to happen this summer in the US or in the Western world, I think ends in September, if I'm not wrong. So it could happen anytime between now and September, and then the Forsage X Gold will come much later. So for tonight's purposes, I'm only going to focus on the 2, Forsage X3 and Forsage X4, to show you how you can use this opportunity to grow a crypto portfolio, and you can decide what you want to do with your money. You can eat some of it, you can reinvest some of it, you can buy yourself homes and take your children to school. But let me demonstrate how it works. For you to understand, I want you to conceptualize in your mind that you have identified 2 identical blocks of flats. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, our real estate has moved digital. We are no longer interested in going to Kamuru or Ruai or wherever else people go to buy those bloti, maguta. Those ones we have said, let's leave that to that generation that understands that. For us, our investments have gone digital, purely clean. So I want you to imagine in your mind, you have identified 2 blocks of flats and you want to buy them. The first block, call it Forsage X3. The second one, call it Forsage X4. Each of these blocks, which are identical, they have a total of 12 rooms each. The value of each room is indicated in each box. For example, the smallest room in both is only worth 5 BUSDs or $5. The second one doubles in value to 10 BUSD, the other one doubles to 20 BUSD, to 40, to 80, 160, all the way, such that the most expensive unit in both of your two blocks is valued at $9,900. Now, your investment is to come and buy these blocks of flats. The beauty is you don't have to buy the entire block upfront. You can begin where your money can take you, buy the units up to where your money can take you. And as you start making money, you continue buying until you finish buying. Because once you've finished buying, the rest of your life, if you put this business to work, it will be giving you money consistently without lack, for sure. Now, let me demonstrate how that works. And I'm going to start with Forsage X3. Now, remember, this is a referral program. Now, on the Forsage X3, this is me. I have already incurred a cost of $5 to buy this unit. So if you go to the blockchain, you will see it. It's there and it's mine. So for me to unlock value or to make money, I need to refer people to who will also come and purchase their own. And remember, this is a matrix. So when I refer you and you buy your own, it doesn't take away mine. It's a matrix, it just allocates your unit. So for example, let me say, I go out there and I meet a friend of mine called Flo, and I tell her, Flo, there's a business opportunity here. Please come and listen. And she joins a Zoom like this, and she hears and she says, Nyambura, I want to invest. So what I will do, I will give her my referral link, which I'm given by the smart contract. Now, when I share my referral link with Flo, Flo will purchase her unit at exactly the same amount of $5. But this is the beauty, guys. On the spot, as she clicks buy, on the spot, 100% of the amount she spends to buy her unit is credited to me instantly, which basically means at that point, I am at break-even in my business. I spent $5, I have earned exactly $5 by only referring one person to this program. So my crypto wallet will be credited with 5 BUSDs. Now, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if this was a product of another company I was promoting, and I sold that product to Flo at 5 BUSD, I would have been paid maybe 5% of the $5. But here I am earning the entire amount. The other thing, that company would have told me, I will have to wait for my withdrawal after a week or a month or so, so on and so forth. But here I am earning instantly on the spot. Now, because for me, this is business, I'm not going to settle at break even. I want to make money. I will go and talk to another friend of mine called Shiro. Shiro will agree to invest. Guess what? Shiro's amount will be credited to me 100% on the spot. So not only now have I broken even, I am now in the profit zone. And then I'll go and talk to my sister Wanjiko. Wanjiko's payment, which is my third referral, I will pass it to the ecosystem. I will pay the ecosystem. Now, the ecosystem is anybody who has purchased that unit before me. So it could be the person who referred me to the program, or he could go and pay whoever it is. At that point, I will have finished a cycle, because in this X3 program, I only finish a cycle by referring 3 people. So I want you to understand, besides the fact that I'm already broken even and I'm in profit zone, I have first of all paid myself 200% before I pay the ecosystem. Okay? Now, notice the second unit we said is exactly double the value of the first unit. So suppose when you're investing, you only had $5. You didn't have the 10 to buy the second unit. In this business, you don't have to keep going back to your pocket. All you need to do is refer to people who will give you exactly the amount you need to upgrade. Now, these people that you referred to this 5 units, they will most probably follow you and do what you're doing and upgrade. So guess what? Flo again follows me. She returns my investment in full. Shiro pays me 100%. My sister Wanjiko finishes my cycle and I start again. All the 12 units of this program work exactly like this. Now, let me also say something. You notice in this business, there is no joining fee. There is no monthly fee. And there is no deadline that I must have achieved XYZ by some time limit. In this business, your investment is purely your investment. Whatever you want to invest, you come invest. If you want to grow your business fast, hit the road, refer people. If you want to grow pole pole, it's all entirely up to you. Nobody charges you anything. Nobody asks you to meet any targets. It's really up to you. That is our X3 program. On the X4 program, the principle of earning, I always say, is the same. But a few things have changed here. First and foremost, for me to finish a cycle, I need 6 referrals. Now, these 6 referrals, ladies and gentlemen, could be your personal referrals where you have literally gone out there and brought the 6 people yourself, or they could be referrals that you earn from the group effort. Then that's the beauty of this X4 program. Number two, you notice the structure has changed. You will have the first 2 people sit up here, and then the other 4 people will sit down here. Now, the other thing on the X4 program, you first of all pay the ecosystem before you pay yourself. So let me put myself here again. Assume I go out there and I refer 6 people myself. The first person who will sit here, I will first of all pay the ecosystem. The second person, I will pay the ecosystem. But the third, the fourth, and the fifth, I will pay myself. And notice, I earn 100% of what somebody puts. And then the 6th person, I'll pay the ecosystem, which basically means if I refer 6 people directly, I will take home 300% and I'll pay the ecosystem 300%. Now, suppose you are there and you bought your unit and you have not yet succeeded in referring any person. This is where the ecosystem comes in handy and pays you. For as long as there's a Nyabura out there who is passing these payments to the ecosystem, you could be there without any referral. Then you start seeing people populating your matrix. Anybody who comes to the first people who populate your matrix, the payment will not come to you. But the people who will land here, the payment will credit your wallet instantly. And you don't sometimes need to know who those people are or who referred them into this program. It's irrelevant. All you know is they pay you, because even you, when you refer people, you pay the ecosystem. So the ecosystem pays you and you pay the ecosystem. Again, notice the second unit is exactly double in value. So by the time you're finishing a cycle here, you have broken even and now you're at 200% profit. Take this money, come and buy this unit. You don't have to go back to your pocket. Start the process again, because chances are the people who paid you here are also going to follow and pay you here. But now you can see they're paying you and the money is more. So the 12 units again work exactly like that. Now, what we have done, we have come up with packages to guide you then on how you can get started in terms of investing in this program. And we have 2 packages. The first package is where we are telling you, balance out your investment. Whatever you buy on the X3 program, also buy on the X4. So for example, we are recommending you can come in and buy 7 units of each. That needs you to invest about $1,270, which could be anywhere near 150,000 Kenya shillings. Or you can buy 8 programs of each, invest $2,550. Or you can buy 9 units, that's 5,000. As you can see, the higher you go, the more the money. The whole idea is if you can buy the entire board, finish the board, buy the block, buy the block. Alternatively, there are some people who are like, can I maybe put more of my money on the X4 program because it helps you to tap from the ecosystem? Absolutely, yes. So our recommendation again, buy up 7 units on the X3 program, and then the rest of the money, depending on how much you have, spread it to the X4 program. For example, you can buy 7 units on X3 and 8 units on X4. That will cost you $1,910. Or 7 units and 9 units, that will cost you $3,160. And you can see the higher you go, the more the money. But you could also be there and saying, suppose I don't have the $1,270. Does that mean I cannot invest in this program? Absolutely not. Anybody can invest in this program. It just depends on how much money you have. The minimum you're required to get into this program, ladies and gentlemen, is a total of $10 only. You buy this unit of 5 and this unit of 5, that's the minimum entry. So depending on how much money you have, you can come and see how many units you can buy. You can buy in whatever order. You can buy more of X3 or more of X4. It really is up to you, okay? Now, having said that, The first thing I would recommend is that whoever you are on this call, please make sure you download yourself a crypto wallet. I always tell people nowadays I can hardly talk to 5 people and I miss one who is starting to get familiar with cryptocurrencies. Just the same way our mothers and our grandmothers have M-Pesa wallet. Please create a crypto wallet for yourself. You can go online and download Token Pocket or MetaMask. Those are very safe wallets to use. And then whatever amount of money you have, we will teach you how to go to Binance.com to be able to buy for yourself these BUSDs, and you get invested in this program. And then, of course, we shall give you the link to Forsage, which will come from the person who invited you on this call. Now, with that, ladies and gentlemen, it brings me to the end of this presentation. And maybe I can open the presentation to people for any Q&A, but maybe I could also ask if there's somebody who can just share briefly a testimony of what this program has done for them. And tonight, I am going to only ask one person to just briefly share her testimony. This is one of my amazing business partners, a very resilient young lady, an author of a book that is on Amazon called Flo. You should promote that book. And I basically just want Flo to tell us, like I've said, this particular program on BUSD was launched exactly a month ago. So Flo, I want you to share your testimony. Kindly, I need your account number if that is okay with you. I know I have just 1 minute. Flo, you can unmute.
Hi, Nyambu.
Yes,
yes, yes, yes, yes. 11:41. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For a wonderful presentation. Actually, it's been such a beautiful day. I remember from our conversations earlier in the day, it's super good. I mean, we are growing in the world of cryptocurrency, but also we are growing ourselves as in the world of personal development and team building and things like that. So I'm just feeling really fantastic, thrilled over the conversations that have existed today. So for our guests, I hope you have been added value to, and I hope this is going to be a game changer for you as well as it has been for us. And myself, actually, as you can see, that is my account. And that is what I've been able to earn in the last 1 month. You can imagine, I don't know how much I would have gotten if I had a job, but I'm just super proud of my results because this is what I've been able to achieve with a team. And not a team of many people, but just with 6 people who we support. And actually the thrill is not only have I put money in my pocket, but I've also helped my team members put money in their pockets. And some of them actually are in the villages. They may not even know much about cryptocurrency. So if you've had this and you have your doubts, trust me, there's people out there, they're just excited about winning and they don't know much, but of course they'll grow into this. So Nyambu, I'm super grateful that I'm in this great space right now, and we're just learning so much in what is happening, how the world is advancing, and we know we're in the right stage at the right time. We are taking off so that we can basically maximize on the opportunity that is available on the blockchain. So I thank you for even allowing me to share, and I thank you for you even showing my back office. And yeah, probably it can be of interest to someone to know that I may have invested only about $1,200, but I made right now so far I've made $37.15. So I'm in profit, I'm good, I'm happy, excited, and knowing what a smart contract can do for a human being, I mean, it's really incredible. So Nyambura, thank you, and back to you.
All right, amazing. Thank you so much, Flo. Maybe I've just felt, for purposes of being gender sensitive, let me invite a gentleman here, and the gentleman I'm going to invite is Uncle Migwi. Uncle Migwi, if you're there, let me know if you're there. To also just briefly share so that the men in the house can also, sometimes people associate this business with women. I don't know why. Let's see. There are men who are also very successful in this. Uncle Migwi, are you there?
Yes, Nyambura, I'm here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you even for that presentation. And, like I keep telling you, you are a seeker of information. And how I look forward for our people to be sometimes hungry for this information. But for me, the breakthrough came when I realized that it pays to have a beginner's mind. And when I was introduced to this world of cryptocurrency, like many of us, we had no idea what goes on there. But sooner did we get in and we realized that this is where money is being made. So, and a lot of people are waiting for policymakers to tell them now it's time, it's get involved. But guess what? It's innovation that begins, then policy. So the question that I'm gonna pose to our members and our guests tonight is, are you willing to risk it all? And as you do that, you can imagine the kind of returns that you'll be looking at. So, and as we go over to the weekend, just identify where you lie, because in this world we have two forms of fears. Number one, the fear of loss and the fear of success. The fear of loss, we are so afraid of losing the small amount of money or the little that we have. So, and because we are holding on to that, it prevents us, or it keeps us away from so much more that we could have gotten. And the fear of success, you don't know how to handle the success. So you don't even have a goal of what you're gonna do with this money. So tonight, as you comprehend, ask yourself, what is keeping you away from your dreams? What is keeping you away from achieving the life that you want to live? Is it the fear of loss, or is it the fear of success? So good night, and thank you, Nyambula, for that.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you can see on Kumigwe's account, he has managed to earn $20,000 in the last 1 month. I don't know which business you're in. I don't know what kind of returns you're able to get in that business, and we respect it. But this is real money, and there is nothing very special about Flo or about Migwe or about myself or about all the other successful people who are on this call tonight. We are just ordinary people who are choosing to make extraordinary decisions, and God keeps rewarding us and keeps blessing us. So if you're here and you're our guest, those are real testimonies. That's real money that has credited people's wallets, money they've cashed out, money they've paid bills with, money they've reinvested, and money they are going to invest. We have not even laid the foundations yet. We are still in the process of laying foundations. We are barely a month old in this program. So, and as you can see, nobody has finished clearing the board. So it's a journey, and we are super excited and super charged about this journey. So now you could be here, you're a guest, and this is always how we end our conversations. We always want to respect everybody who is on the call. And you could be an A and you're saying, oh my God, I love this whole idea and I want to get started. Kindly get back to the person who referred you to this call. They will share their referral link. They will guide you on how to create your wallet, how to buy your Binance, and how to get started on the Forsage smart contract. Or you could be a B and you're like, oh, I love the idea, I love the concept, but I have a few questions. I mean, some of us learn through asking questions. So feel free to get back to the person who invited you, or reach out to any of us and ask the questions that you have. We shall help you understand to the best of our ability. Or you could be a C and you're like, okay, I love the idea, I love the money, but not right now. We always say, thank you so much. You stayed with us on this call for almost a whole hour. We appreciate it that you've taken your time. And we know that even though you may not be ready right now, you're going to go out knowing something that you didn't know. So our closing call is, when you're ready, we shall be right here. Please come back, you will find us. And with that, I want to bring this call to a close, but I'll give a minute or two for Q&A. If you have a question that you'd want to shoot, you can type it on the chat box, or you can just unmute yourself and ask a question. We shall be happy to answer.